I sort of wanted to go on a little bit from last week, since I know I got to hear from some of you guys, and you said you really liked last week, that you felt excited. It maybe changed your perspective on things, gave you a new outlook on how you could share oils, authentically, maybe to your audience, and how you could show up differently or brand yourself. But I know it can be overwhelming too. So I'm going to have a couple people share here tonight that are going to share their articulation statement that they came up with, and then also talk about maybe some of the things that are working for them. And this is more going to be like a sharing night. I'm going to talk about a couple business things first, and then we'll go into the sharing at the end and end it like that. But feel free, if something's working for you in your business, like please show up and share with us, because I feel like that's always, I think this business is the hardest when you feel alone in it and no one's going through what you're going through, whether it's something hard or whether you're a high or a low. If you're going through something, we'd love to help you through it. Not that we all have perfect answers right away. We might need to think about it for a little bit. But if you're going through something or have a question, let us know. Or if you're feeling like, oh man, I had an aha moment, I'm feeling like I'm really getting better in this issue that I've been having a hard time with, I want to share it. Like, I definitely have had that a ton of times, but I love hearing from other people. So I picked 3 people to share tonight. But if you have any input, please unmute yourself and share. We would love to hear from you. But I'm going to start the night off with a couple quotes to inspire us all. So let me get those over here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I like this lady from Susie School. So, goal to make an income while making an impact. That's one of my favorite things about this business is while you're growing your business, you're actively impacting people's lives. Oh no, I'm going to have to, sorry, I got to learn how to demute this message thing, because my girlfriends are talking about the coronavirus coming to Costa Mesa, if anybody has heard about that. And they have been quite on tangent. Okay, let us take that off. Okay, no coronavirus talk right now. Okay, so goal is to make an income while making an impact. In a lot of jobs, you don't make a big impact in some things. So that is one of my absolute favorite things to remember. Most people aren't willing to be bad at something before they're good at it. So just remember, if you're feeling bad in a lot of things right now, maybe in your doTERRA business, just remember, give yourself grace that you have not done it probably a million times. I mean, I have done stuff so many times now, and I still make mistakes, and that's okay. I'm just showing up, right? And the only way you get good at stuff, I tell my daughter all the time when I'm trying to teach her to read, is you just practice, practice, practice. Doesn't matter if you don't know the word, you can't sound it out, you sound bad, you just practice, practice, practice. And I feel like sometimes we don't want to, when we're adults, give ourselves the grace that we need to maybe fail and keep going and not be like devastated by it or say this business isn't for me. It is. It just means that you need to do it more, right? And it shouldn't make you feel the opposite, which is, oh my goodness, that class no one showed up, right? Or one person did, or I didn't close anybody. This isn't for me. Rather than, okay, what do I feel went good in this scenario, but what do I think I need to change, right? What are maybe some things that I need to talk to my upline about that maybe isn't working? Maybe I don't even know what I'm doing, right? Those are things that we need to remember, and it doesn't mean you're bad at it. It just means that you need to keep practicing and ask for advice and help, right? Like whenever I hit a roadblock, I typically try to always go to something that will give me advice, inspiration, or some way that I can change it up. I like this one. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it, right? And a lot of times, if you're looking at somebody else's business, it isn't meaning that their business is better. It's probably that they're just showing up more and they've shown up for a longer, consistent period of time, right? A lot of us in this business, just because it's our own business and we don't have a brick and mortar that we have to show up to every day, we don't show up to our business every day. And when you don't water something consistently, it's going to die, or patches of it for sure are going to die, right? So if that's happening, again, it's not a reflection on the doTERRA business model that the business doesn't work. It's just showing you that you probably haven't been watering it enough. And sometimes in life, maybe there are seasons that we water something less. And then you need to give yourself the grace to be okay with that, that maybe your business is going back a little bit, not to make yourself feel guilty or down on it, but to say like, you know what? It does need to be watered more. And the reason why it is going back in volume, or I don't have as many people wanting to do the business with me, or whatever it may be, it's probably because you haven't been showing up and watering your business. And that is okay if you at least can take it and then grow from there. This lady is a Blue Diamond, which maybe she's higher now, I don't know, in doTERRA over in Australia. And she constantly shows up. And I love that quote that she did. Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive and go and do it. And I think that really goes with my talk last week. It says, because the world needs because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And if you feel dead in your doTERRA business, then you might need to rethink it and think, what made me first come alive with these oils, right? Maybe you're like super into detoxing, clean, green living. Maybe you're really into babies and pregnancy, or, you know, maybe you're into fitness and health, or whatever it may be. But that's what made you come alive and made you want to join this. Maybe you need to realize some of those things that made you excited again, because that's what everyone's going to be drawn to. They're not going to be drawn to, you know, you just showing up and trying to pitch a kit and doing your 1 roller bottle blend a week, right? That's not really going to draw them in and make them feel that excitement. What makes you unique so that you don't have to compete on price? And I love this. For me, oh my gosh, I thought I knew how do you turn chats off? Am I like the only person that doesn't know how to turn chats off? Sorry. Don't you just quit message? I feel like that's what I just did. Right. Clearly, I need applications. I'm just gonna tell my friends, stop texting right now. My message. My husband's, oh, here it is. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I should have done this before. I think I just did it, but look. Oh, I know. Here it is. Details. Do not disturb. Okay. I think I did it. Okay. Hopefully they didn't say anything not nice in the text. Okay. What makes you unique so that you don't have to compete on price? For me, I really am passionate about that because I don't feel like I'm competing against Amazon or things like that, because I try to make my packages unique. So if you're feeling like you're competing with somebody else in doTERRA or Amazon or maybe Target oils or whatever it may be, you need to figure out what makes you unique so you don't feel like you're competing on that price or against that other fellow advocate. What are you showing up that makes it so much special and different? And that's what we talked about last week. What is it that makes you excited, that you want to offer, what you can give back to your customer, so that they're not even thinking about the price tag? That is an ultimate goal, right? Like, I just got a lady getting referred on my teacher kits. She just texted me and said, hey, my friend, you know, I forget her name, but Sally got your teacher kit. I saw her roller bottles that she had. Can you tell me more about the kit? Because I want to get it. And then she said, yeah, and my daughter has chronic ear infections for the last 6 months. So what would I do for that? And so I sent her all my teacher info and I said, you're going to love it because there's 2 oils in there that are great for ear infections. And then I told her about garlic mullein drops and she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Send me the link. I want to get it. Right? Now, in my opinion, if I would have just sold the lady that, Healthy Start kit without any roller bottles with the cute labels on it, I do not think I would have gotten a referral. I just don't, right? The cute roller bottles with the labels, in my opinion, are a gateway for people sharing the oils and bringing them with them, right? To their workplace, to whatever it is, you know, to dance class. They have those roller bottles and that's a conversation starter. So in my opinion, investing in that has helped my business, and I think it would your business a ton. And that's where you're not even competing on price point. The person wasn't asking me all about the oils in the kit. She wasn't even asking me all the details about it. All she said is, oh, that teacher kit that my friend got, I want it too, right? So you got to figure out something that makes someone say that. You are allowed to start over. You are never required to remain stuck or stagnant. The journey is yours to reset whenever you feel like it. So if you're telling yourself you feel stuck in your business, guess what? You at any moment can decide to rechange your brain and your thinking and get unstuck and start again, right? And a lot of times that's what we have to do. And last but not least, repeat this daily. I will remain focused on my goals. Even if I have a moment of difficulty, I will not give up. I know success comes with consistency. I know that I will make it. Things will get better. No problem or challenge will stop me. Everything I observe is coming my way. And these are just truths that we need to say to ourselves, because I'm telling you, my life has not been rainbows and unicorns lately by any means. I've had a really rough last 3 months, like some of the more rough ones that I've had in life. And I've had to tell myself every single day to get in constant good mindset, because otherwise, I literally am a mess, right? And I have to focus daily on things that fill me up, whether it be exercise, going in my sauna, having some kind of alone time, getting something. I just have to make it happen to where I can give back. Otherwise, there's no way I could show up to Monday nights and give anything to you guys. I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't be able to show up consistently for my customers, because life does have hard things, but we can train our mind to not give up and to be consistent no matter what, and to keep showing up for people. So hopefully some of those quotes hit home with some of you guys. I did want to talk about this. I'm super excited about it. I posted it to our user group, and then our builder group, and then I took it down because I realized that they wrote on there, don't post. You've probably seen it though. If you haven't, doTERRA heard us. If you've felt frustrated, maybe some of you are stoked on all the new kit changes. Awesome, right? Maybe some of you are frustrated with the kit changes. I hear you. Change is always hard. It can be exciting, but hard too. And if you don't know how to roll with the punches, it can be overwhelming, right? But doTERRA did hear from a lot of people that they wanted another kit that was just oils in the large size bottle at around the $250 price range. And they heard that. And what I love about doTERRA is they listen. And of course, they couldn't pull it out within the same month, right? So it's taken a couple months. But I love, love, love this new option. It's going to be launching in the beginning of March. I want to let you know that when it launches, the oils will be wrapped individually, not in a cute packaging. They just want to be able to get this kit for us on the fly. Mid-April, it will come in a complete new packaging that will then be forever in the box and all the cuteness and everything. But if your customer gets it, just know that it probably won't be in the cutest packaging for them. But I'm so excited about it. I love the pedal diffuser. I thought the new one that they upgraded, I just loved, and I was really sad to see it taken out of some of the starter kits. So that one's in there. Then this is the exact same Home Essentials kit, except they took out oregano, melaleuca, and frankincense, and they added in copaiba, adaptive, and balance. I love this option. If you like the other option with oregano, melaleuca, and frankincense better, what I would tell you to do is, if you want to get up to the price point of the $250 or the $260 range, is you take that Healthy Start Kit and then you add on oils like copaiba, adaptive, and balance, or serenity, which are about 100 PV, and you add that on to that Healthy Start Kit, right? Now the Healthy Start Kit goes from a 160 price point to a 260 price point, which is roughly the same as this. This is going to be 250, but you're getting the top 10 oils, the diffuser, and then you're getting 4 more oils in the large size bottle. That's a great way to customize a kit. If you have a certain niche, like say you're in fitness, you could take the Deep Blue Rub, the copaiba, and the turmeric capsules, right? Add that to the Healthy Start Kit, not this one in front of you, the smaller Healthy Start Kit, and get up to that 250, 260 range, right? That'll help on any months that are a 200 PV promo, them to qualify for that. And also it does double your PV amount for this kit, right? So that 160 kit gets you 100 points. But if you add 100 PV more, that's 260 PV. Now you're at 200 points, right? And you didn't have to double the price. You just added 100 PV, and it looks like they're getting about 14 oils and a diffuser for 260. So if you like customizing things, depending who it is, then I would say the Healthy Start kit is still a great option, and then you can customize it. But what I love about this kit is you're getting all the large size bottles except for the deep blue, and this is more of an emotional kit. And to be honest, I felt that's been a little bit lacking. I love oils like oregano and melaleuca, and I educate on them a ton, and they're great ones to add on to the next month in a great way. To get frankincense on the LRP once they see that we have so many recipes that need frankincense. But oils like Balance, Copaiba, and Adaptive will immediately get them diffusing more and getting emotional help. And sometimes they might not be getting hit with the flu right away, or get a skin tag, or have stinky shoes, right? To where they're going to be using those oregano, right? You're not going to be diffusing that. Maybe you don't need it that often. Now, when they get sick, they're going to be really excited to buy those oils. But a lot of times, every single person deals with emotional support. So I love this kit. I love that you can blend lavender, Copaiba, Adaptive, and Balance all together for emotional support. For Copaiba, it can stand the place of frankincense for immune boosting. So you can still do Copaiba, On Guard, and lemon for immune boosting and support like that. And you could even throw in wild orange for free if you want to get that class in the box, right? The class in the box kit is $25, and you get 10 wild orange bottles, 10 of them in the 5 ml bottles. That means they're only $2.50 if you use nothing else in that class in the box kit. It's only $25, and you get 10 bottles, that magazines and things like that too, which are great. But I use those wild oranges as add-ons a lot of times because I love wild orange. I think it's a great mood support. They can add it to their water, and that's another immune booster too. So this kit will be $250. Like I said, it's going to launch next month at the beginning, and then it will be in the nice new packaging mid-April. Does anybody have any questions about this kit or about my idea of customizing that Healthy Start kit if you want to do that? See, I have a chat. Let's see. Yeah, Malie put she loved this kit. I feel like I got a lot of good response that this is just a great starter kit to get tons of emotional support, which I feel like is equally as important as health, right? Like our physical health. Emotions these days is such a need, and these are great smelling oils and things like that. This is an enrollment kit. Yes, this is an enrollment kit, Patty. So $250 with the membership included. Awesome, awesome kit option. So again, launching this next month in the nice packaging by mid-April. Any other questions? We'll get new papers and stuff designed for this, but I think I guess I could photograph that now since I know the kit. So maybe I will actually try to photograph it when not that I have a break this week, it's a little crazy for me, but I'll try to get this photographed and stuff like that. So towards the beginning of the week or month, we'll have it. But yeah, it is an enrollment kit, so it's going to be a great one. All right, we will move on to the next thing. One other thing that we had in our Facebook group that I wanted to go over with you guys is, what were your thoughts on this? I posted this. This was from Keely Martinez, a presidential diamond. I believe she got these stats from doTERRA's different stats and things like that on how it all goes together. But a lot of times people do have questions about ranks. How much time do I need to spend? How long is it going to take me? What's my average monthly income? And what do I expect when I hit a new rank? Sometimes you can feel a little disillusioned when you get to the higher ranks if you're thinking you're going to hit that magical number of the solid rank number and you hit more the expected income rank. So I wanted to go over this and answer any questions you had. The one thing I want to talk about a lot is when you hit a rank, there is a period of solidifying that rank. And there's nothing to be ashamed about with solidifying. Solidifying means that you might not hit that rank the next month after and the next month after. Maybe you got to solidify. Maybe you hit on a high BOGO month. That's exciting. That's awesome. It shows you can reach it. But now you've got to really bring in that consistent volume. That means how do we get consistent volume? Getting more people on LRPs, not necessarily getting them to new signups all the time. New signups are great, but what we want for foundational solid business is LRPs that are every single month people are processing. And how we do that is we meet their needs and we get them on the LLV, or have them switch out toxins in their home, or get them their core supplements that they really need, right? If you're not working with your customers to get them on supplements, you're going to have a really hard time getting them to a higher LRP, because not many people are going to be spending straight $100 on oils every month. So getting them on the LLV gets them right there already to the 60 PV mark, right? And then they're only adding a couple oils and they're already over 100. The other thing I like mentioning when you look at a chart like this is you can see the reason why when you look at Elite, that is not, maybe to you it's exciting, but to be honest, a lot of times someone might think, oh my gosh, like 8 hours a week and I'm only going to be making $300, right? And things like that. Well, the thing about this is this business is not for you to just hit Elite, right? This is to grow your business so that you can work Elite hours while making a ton more income, right? That's our main goal. Now, as you can see at different points in your business, while you're like solidifying certain ranks, you are going to be putting in real hours, right? Because you're going to be getting real income, and this is a real growth to a really, really amazing income. And so you've got to make sure, am I being disillusioned? Why am I not hitting the next rank? And you have to say, how many hours am I really spending on my business? Am I treating it like a business? If not, take down the expectations a little bit. It doesn't mean that your business isn't great, that it's not growing, but it just means that you aren't really giving 25 hours a week, right? So don't expect to hit this. Now, the cool thing about the business is you can grow it over a lot of years. Like I've said, some people hit diamond in 1 year, some people hit diamond in 10 years, right? They all still hit diamond, right? If you're consistent, if you don't ditch your business. My personal opinion on this is when this gets messed up is when you hit a rank, you burn yourself out, you give up for a period, and then you find yourself stuck back at a rank that's 2 levels back. That's depressing, right? There's definitely something about I'm exhausted, I need to replenish, but you can't take months off your business and not expect it to go way back, right? We have to consistently show up for our customers and our business if we're really wanting to make this a real income to where your spouse doesn't have to work as much. You can leave your job and things like that. Otherwise, just realistically think, I'm building a hobby business right now that I'm super stoked on, that's giving me some great side cash. And when I'm ready to put in the real effort, then I'm going to make a real income. And that's totally okay. When I first started, I told myself, this is a hobby business. Well, I didn't even say business. This is a hobby. I like the extra cash, but I did not expect to make crazy money, right? Now, after a couple of years of doing it as a pretty consistent hobby business, and then, then the person above me had put some people under me. They started doing it as a business too. I was making about $1,000. And then I was like, wow, maybe this hobby business is worth something. But that didn't happen in a year. That was definitely over time. And then when I decided to really go for it, that's when I gave all of my effort and I saw real growth. And that doesn't mean that I didn't have a ton of builders stop. I did. I had a lot of builders stop. I actually was going to grab old photos and show you how many people, I was looking at them the other day and saying like, okay, how many people are still in my business today that were in my business when I was diamond, right? When I first hit diamond or when I first hit gold. A lot of people aren't. Now that might depress you and you think, oh my gosh, I can't do this. But what I want is to give you the freedom to be like, what people will come and go as long as I'm consistent and keep up leveling. Each time I get new people coming in, they will be at a higher up level, which is absolutely true. The first people you're going to attract to your business are not going to probably be at a high business level, right? They're going to be like maybe hobby business people. That's okay. Maybe we can get them out of the spot. Maybe we'll build underneath them. Maybe we'll start a new leg. There's lots of options. Those hobby business people or little shares, they are at least helping you sustain your business while you're growing. Be thankful for them. Don't feel like they're suffocating or closing your business or making it all. Just be thankful for what they bring to it. And then be excited for getting new people that you can up level with. That's what I do all the time. I'm excited for new people to up level with. And if it's not for some people, it's been painful sometimes, but I just had to let it go, right? Because all it does is drain me and I don't have anything for anybody then. So if you're finding yourself at a place like that at all, I just wanted to encourage you that my number one business advice is to stay consistent, always show up, and continue to up level yourself, and you will attract new customers and new builders and new shares. That's the number one way to keep growing your business and have control over your business, is enroll new people, teach them to fall in love with the product. They'll become sharers and hopefully potential business builders. That is my routine. Okay, that is all my talking tonight. Cheryl, oh great. Cheryl said she used the Keeley image today with the new builder chat and it was super helpful. I do think it gives some realistic goals for people that they can commit to, right? Because sometimes, like I said, it's really hard with this kind of business because if they're not a very goal oriented and get her done kind of person, it's very easily with the swaying winds of life to just be like, oh, I'm not going to do anything this week. And this week leads into a month. And oh, wait, I haven't even signed anybody up in 3 months. If you haven't signed anybody up in 2 months, let me just let you know, you're not doing this as a business. You're just not. Just call it like a hobby business that you like. And then when you're ready to do it as a business, you have to enroll people, right? We have to show up, and then you will get so excited because your business will change and you'll actually have a business, right? And that's the most exciting. So thanks for sharing that, Cheryl. Okay, so I'm going to, I asked a couple people. I asked Diane, maybe I'll have them come on first. Diane, I think you guys can relate to a lot. Diane works full-time as a teacher. Diane, how many kids do you have again? 3?
3.
Three kids, yeah. Diane has 3 kids. So she is busy, busy, busy. No excuses at all. And Diane has committed to doing Diamond Club. So she's not even silver yet. She's a premier, right? And premiers, though, can't, not to say that that's a bad thing, but saying that most premier people aren't going to jump onto Diamond Club. So Diane is a premier. She has a full-time job and 3 kids. She is choosing to do doTERRA's, not even mini Diamond Club, doTERRA's Diamond Club. And I wanted you guys to hear from Diane, why is doTERRA worth it that she's sacrificing this? Because we all know she's going to have some sacrifices, right? Why is it worth it to her to sacrifice? So what's her why? And then how is she actually making this happen?
So my why has always been the same since the beginning, and that is to one day stay home with my kids and not have to work a full-time job, be a full-time teacher anymore. I was just tired of feeling guilty every time I had to call in sick to stay at home with them because they were sick, to find a sub, to prepare lesson plans. There was one day where I was like on the couch and my son was sick and all he needed was for me to cuddle him, but I was busy like doing my lesson plans real quick so the sub could have something to teach my kids that day. And I was tired of it. I'm never going to make enough money in my current teaching job to save and to stay home with them. And so I keep going back to that every time that I kind of hit a block in the business, or anytime fear creeps in, which it does a lot of times. I always hear like Melody's voice in my head, like, what is your why? What is your why? And so I just always like remind myself of that. So I think, Melody, you had asked to talk about what are some things that are working in my business right now. And definitely the number one thing that has been working for me in moving my business forward is following up with people. And so like Melody said, I'm a full-time teacher. I have 3 kids. I'm married. And so I honestly sometimes don't have a big chunk of time in my day to devote to the business. Like I don't always have 2 to 4 hours where I can just sit down and do the business. Sometimes all I have is like 30 minutes on my break time at lunch at school, and that's all. And so no matter what time I have, I just always make sure that I follow up with people. And I think Melody had mentioned this like a long time ago, and then again recently the 222 follow up. And so that stuck with me because it's easy to remember. And so every day I make sure I do 2 current customer follow-ups, 2 potential customers, and then 2 brand new people. And so obviously like the best way to talk to somebody is in person, on the phone, or like even video chat. But in this season of my life, like that is not always an option. So I do a ton of reaching out to people via text, DMing on Instagram, Facebook, even like I've been using like the audio on iPhone or the audio on Facebook Messenger,
I
just
love that.
yeah, just so people can hear my voice. Just because it makes a difference. Like
It does.
that they feel my energy, that they can hear my inflection, and that they can sense that I really care and I'm not just reaching out like copying and pasting something.
Yeah.
So I feel like the audio message and I was not into that in the beginning because I don't really do that in my real life. I don't audio message people. But like every time Melody would text me would be an audio message. And that was like the first time anybody ever sent an audio message to me. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should do this, you know? So I feel like it really makes a difference to do the audio thing. Um, so that's the first thing. And then the second thing that has really helped to move my business forward is to block out time for my business. So I think Elise Chedevi mentioned this in one of the daily mentor calls. She's like, look at your entire schedule and block out all of the times that are non-negotiable or that you have things scheduled. So like for me, that's like when I'm in my classroom, when I have leadership team meetings, my girls basketball practice. And so I block that out. And then I look for any of the times that I'm free. And so sometimes that's a 30-minute block for me to work on the business, and sometimes it's a 2 to 4 hour block. And so kind of a consistent time that I've been finding is like in the mornings before my family wakes up, like either from 5 to 6:30 or 5 to 7 to do the business. And it is not fun to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's really hard, but I do it and it just makes me feel good that I'm actually doing the business. Like again, Melody's voice is always in my head, like treat your business like a business. And so, you know, if you are going to treat it like a business, you have to have business hours, right? So I just like kind of look at that as my business hours blocked off. And then I do it that way. And then also like communicating all of this to my husband, because I was realizing that like in the beginning, I was not like filling him in on when I was going to plan on doing the business and this is what I was going to do. And this is the weekend that I was going to be away. And it was a source of contention for us. And you're going to need somebody's help. Like you're going to need your husband, your wife's help, your parents' help. You're going to need their help. And so they're going to need to know, like my husband will ask me, okay, what is your plan? What is your schedule? And you have to have that ready so that they know when they have to fill in. My husband knows, okay, Tuesday, Thursday nights, I'm doing bedtime. And then, you know, and also like making that commitment to myself, like, okay, I hear that my husband hasn't put the kids to bed yet. It's 9 p.m., resisting the urge to run out of my office and be like, get to bed, everybody, you know? And just knowing like, okay, he's handling it and I'm doing my business. So
I love those. Thank you so much. I think those are so awesome. That's just exactly what I think people need to hear is like, those are real tips. Like getting up early is not fun, but you're choosing to treat it as a business and like letting go of control and letting somebody else do something when you're like, oh no, I can do bedtime better or whatever it may be. That's hard, right? Like I can be a control freak and like letting go of those kind of details is hard, but like you have to choose what is the best thing for me right now. And you're doing that. And I feel like, you know, that one moment that you had with your son is like something that everybody needs. Everybody needs that one moment. Like I had some of those moments too that I'm like, no, like I will not like feel like in my bakery business. I think it was like, I mean, it was probably many moments, but I just felt like what's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I felt so out of control, even though I was working my ass off, you know what I mean? Doing everything. And I'm like, no, like, and I don't like, I remember too, I had the business for a while and I literally had to like ask my mom for like help with tax money or whatever, you know what I mean? Because when it's the bakery, you get taxed on all the money that's still in the bank account. Even if I didn't get that money, I got taxed on it. So I'm like, wait, I didn't even see that money, but I'm getting, a higher tax as a business. And I was like, I don't even have that. And I was like, I never want to feel that. Like I was like, I never ever. And so we all have to have our never ever moments, you know, and those moments, you know, are the ones that are going to pull you through on that. So I love that. And then I just wanted to share with you guys, Diane filled out her little form, and I think everyone should do this. Let me find which one was hers. This one's yours, right? Yep. Okay. So Diane did, this is the value articulator statement. I uploaded it to the Facebook group. I help moms, right? She named a certain group, right? Not to say that she can't help dads, but what does she do? I help moms. What? Find solutions for their family's needs so that they can live a healthy and happy life without feeling helpless and out of control, which a lot of moms do, right? When sixth season comes around, I get the most DMs about, oh my gosh, my kid has that. What do I do? What do I do? Right? You're helping them get that feeling of not helplessness, but feeling in control. And then she says, why my purpose is to empower women with the tools they need to take care of their family's mental and physical health, right? So those are really powerful statements. It is a niche group, and she knows exactly how she wants to help them and what she doesn't want them to feel like. And I think that's really powerful to stick with. So thank you so much, Diane. I really appreciated that. Okay, so next up, let's have Danielle share. Let's see, we can unmute you. And I wanted Danielle to get on because she is, here, let me take the spotlight video and I'll put it on you. Okay, so she has been doing, she does a lot of events where outside, and I feel like she does a really great job of networking, and she's doing events at like, what is it called? The place again, I'm blanking, not doula.
Beach Cities Midwifery.
Right, Beach Midwifery. So you can see it's an exact thing, like a niche, right? That she's going after a niche audience. And so I want to see what things have been helping you. And she recently, or not recently, she still is the top enrolling person, eight people right now. So congrats to Danielle for this month.
Yay.
And it wasn't because it was easy for her. She has a funny roller bottle story where she had to do it on the fly. But Danielle, let us know what are some things that are working for your business, how finding a niche has been helping you, and how you get out of your warm market and are branching out with other people.
Yeah, so I met Beth at Beach Cities, and I always share my story there with the classes. Like, I was taking a birthing class, and I really had this dream of a natural birth, and the instructor had recommended essential oils. Like, she knows now that I know, she knows nothing about essential oils, but it's funny because she was like, you know, maybe some aromatherapy that you'd enjoy. And so I once I got into that, and then, you know, obviously started the business with Beth. One second, buddy. Sorry. I realized how much.
And no worries, this is mom life, and Danielle still said she would go on and talk to us tonight, even though she has her son. So this is awesome. And if you need to take a moment, you just take a moment. And this is what saying yes to doing business with when you're a mom is, right?
Yeah, it's just, I have to talk for just a couple minutes. So I have a background in child development, and I too was a teacher until I decided to stay home with my son. And it was a really big passion of mine, and part of me jumping into a different business that I did find passionate about. I was like scared I was leaving behind that other part of me. So it was really cool to find a way like to bring the two together. And so with that, I just try to do a lot of like, anytime there's an event that says children or like mothers or something like that, I try to like contact that person and say like, can I have a booth there? Because even though essential oils may not seem like a booth at a child's event, all I have to do is, and what's so nice about having Beach City is if I throw that in there, you know, I have this like leverage to say like, here's these professional classes that I do. And then just like continuing to expand on that. Like tomorrow night I have a cloth diapering class, and although it's not completely together with essential oils, I end the class making like a cloth diaper solution that we add essential oils to. And then I always like make sure I have a calendar, a class on the calendar to say like, oh, and I'm also teaching the essential oil class. And I feel like once they meet me and they see my personality, they know it's like much more comfortable to want to go. And so my hope is that with like small things like that, like the word can just continue to get out there. And it's crazy how many people I've met in the birthing world who want something like this to associate with their business as well, which has been really cool. So I've just been really excited to like add it to my passions. I've been doing a lot of like education on it. I did a course on it just to like get myself even more passionate about it. So it's been really fun to like bring my two things that I really like together.
I love that. So you could see how her making herself into a niche, right? And an expert, even though she might not feel like it, right? We don't all have to be. It's like, you know, my mom always sell the sizzle, not the steak or whatever, you know, like, you know, you just have to show up, right? And, you know, I sell these teacher kits. I mean, I assistant taught. I do not know everything about a teacher. I'm not a teacher, right? Like I'm not in the classroom, but what can I do is I can brand it and I can sell it. Right. And so with Danielle, it's not going to stop her from showing up. That, I mean, maybe she hasn't had all the credentials and every single thing she needs. No, what? People are overwhelmed by that anyway. They want a cloth diaper class. They want a cloth diaper spray so their baby doesn't have a rash on their butt. And then they're like, oh, cool, I can use oils for fevers and things like that too. I want to know that, right? So don't overcomplicate it. And I like what she says is when she got into a place like Beach City Midwifery, she's able to use that name, right? And that makes you feel like up. So whatever makes you feel more comfortable, maybe take a little course on it, throw that name out there, whatever it may be. Not that you even need to, but whatever makes you feel more comfortable. If you're doing a yoga studio, you know, like go like taking oils on chakras and oils and, you know, meditation or something, you know, and then you feel like, yes, I teach courses and talk yourself up on chakras, oils, meditation, and relaxation with the specialty on anxiety and depression, right? Like specialize it, because then people are going to be like, oh yeah, I have anxiety and depression and I love meditating and I love yoga. You're my person, right? So Danielle is making it to where she's their person, right? Because they probably heard about oils from a lot of people. They could probably buy oils at some other store, maybe even at Beach City Midwifery's or another place. They could buy an oil there. But why do they buy it from Danielle? Because she's knowledgeable, she's helpful, she has a community, and then if she throws in cute roller bottles, she has cute roller bottles, right? You have to layer on all those extra things that you're offering that customer. And I really like the idea of making it into that niche that she's already passionate about and marrying the two together to really help that. So does anybody have any questions? If you do, you can type them in. We can ask at the end, Danielle or anybody else who speaks today. But thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it.
I didn't send you I didn't know if you needed me to send you my.
Oh yeah, do you have it?
I have it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, tell us what you did.
Okay, so I said I help mothers and families have natural solutions in their birthing kit so that they can meet their mothering birthing goals, unlike the traditional medical approach, because birth is natural and normal.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Can you send that one to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And you can see how she, you know, tweaked it and different, but it's all the same. But I feel like that, you know, gives her that passion. So that's great. The next person that's going to share is Joan. So let me take the spotlight video off.
Okay, I'm going to mute us now.
Okay, perfect. Can you talk now? Did I unmute you? Oh, wait. Say it again. I think you're still muted. Let me cancel that. No, can't hear you yet. Let me see. I might have you muted. Oh, that is weird. So you should be able to talk right now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, now we can. Perfect.
I can't hear you
awesome.
though. So,
Oh.
Hold on. All right. Say something again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So I wanted Joan to jump on because she told me last week that she found some of the stuff I shared really inspiring and exciting, and she is in fitness and wellness. So I wanted to read what her statement was, and then she could share about how that's helped her. And then she's also incorporating some of Elise Sedavid's training on the back to the basics. So I wanted to hear her story on how that's helped her get over some mind blocks or roadblocks or whatever that. And then she just had a really great successful class. So I want to hear how that went. But let me share with you guys first her one that she sent me. Oops. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So I want to help, again, not men, not what I want to help women, right? Not that we can't, but I want to help women take control of their health and wellness by moving, eating well, staying healthy with natural products. So that they feel better, move better, and live their best life, unlike having low energy, in pain, and low self-esteem. So she's pulling out different points that probably a lot of people that she sees has, right? Low energy, tons of pain, not great self-esteem, right? Those connect with people, right? And her purpose is to empower women to make themselves a priority, because most women don't, right? So that's a great thing that she can talk about is, right? A lot of us women, especially mothers, don't prioritize stuff. And what does that leave us? Feeling low energy, in pain, low self-esteem. So what do I want to do? Help you feel better, move better, and live your best life. That's awesome, right? When it's easier to put together, make themselves a priority, even when it is easier to put everyone else first, right? Which is so true. Validating that feeling. It is easier to put everyone else first, right? But I want you to empower yourself, and then this is how I'm going to help you. So I love that. All right. You want to share a little bit with us?
Yeah, sure. So I'll share two things. One, it was funny last week. I had written a Melody and just said how much I really appreciated her talk about, especially about the social media and the niche, because I've been on this ongoing journey of trying to figure out what I really want to do. And I've been doing fitness for almost about 15 years. So I'm very passionate about it and I love it. And it comes very easily, but I've always thought the oils kind of went hand in hand. But I've had a little harder time trying to figure out how to incorporate them and pull them into my business. And I've been through a lot of changes in the last 2 years that I've been doing the doTERRA business. And so I found her information really beneficial last week, because that's exactly the area I'm at, where I'm trying to figure out how can I really be specific with my niche. And the social media aspect is something that I really want to spend some extra time in, both from my fitness and the oil side. But one thing that I've been doing this business almost 2 years in April. And one thing that I've never really jumped on was classes. I've done a lot of one-on-ones, and I've done a lot of other things. I've done boutiques, I've done all kinds of things. But the 2 classes that I attempted to do were complete flops. Nobody showed up. I kind of didn't think they were very successful. And as much as I knew I needed to do them, I just never gravitated towards them, because they kind of intimidated me and they weren't successful in the past. So, anyways, when I talked to Melody, I had told her, I said, as much as I really want to narrow in my niche right now, what I have found with this business sometimes is there's so much information and there's so many things you can do. And so I'll be on like 1 week where I'm like, I'm doing this and I'm going to go this way. And then something pops up and I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. I'm going to do this. And I go that way. And I never stay the course. So then I'm always feel like I'm floundering around like a crazy lady. So I told her, I said, I've got to focus on my classes. I've got to get this done. I got to get comfortable with it. I got to get them under my belt. And then when I'm done with that, my next step is I want to work on my social media and really narrow in my niche. So my best piece of advice for any of you guys is to, narrow down what you're working on, stick to it, master it and then move forward, because there's so many amazing things out there about this business and what you can do. It can be overwhelming, but you've got to really master what you're working on first before you move to the next thing. So as I go into the next point, when over the last 2 years that I've done the business, I've learned a lot about myself and how I work. And I've always been a company person. I've always worked for a company. I've always been really good at business, but I've always worked for somebody. And so when I took on this business, I thought, oh, how cool. I get to do my own thing and I'm in charge. And, and what I found is it was very overwhelming for me. And I wasn't very good at, like, not to say that I wasn't a good entrepreneur, but like, I'd never really been my own boss, and I had never had these challenges. And so when the Back to Basics came out with the Elise videos and the mentoring and stuff like that, it was like a light bulb for me, because it was very specific and it gave me exactly what I needed to do, without having to like try and figure it out on my own. And so I spent, November and December and a little bit of January going through all the mentoring, listening to all the videos, and I finally felt ready to do a class. And having that script was a game changer for me on Saturday. It was my first class I had in over a year. And I think I ended up only being able to invite 5 people, but all 5 showed up.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was pretty excited. And every single one of them had, actually, I apologize. 4 had said they were going to come, and 1 person brought a friend.
Wow.
And I was worried about the friend because I didn't get a chance to sample her. Everyone else had an experience with the oils previously. But that whole concept of sampling before and then sharing testimonials and allowing them to talk through the class, that one person who had never experienced oils before, I didn't even have to sell her. They sold her. All of their stories, she was like, this stuff is amazing. And it was a game changer. And I had 5 people there, and 4 of them purchased kits. One of them already had bought oils a couple years ago, but she's not getting the education. So we're hoping to move her on to be a customer of mine. So
Wow, that is so exciting. So the sampling was worth it for you. I feel like so many times, and to be honest, like with me in the beginning of the business, I sampled wrong so many times that I literally taught, why sample? I didn't sample. I just had to overcome and learn how to sell without sampling, to be honest. And I'm good at that online. But what I found is I wasn't able to help a lot of my builders. And that's been hard for me because it's worked for me online, right? Because I do different things to get it. But yeah, I wasn't even getting maybe, the response that I was wanting every single time in a class either, right? But my favorite thing is when somebody else sells the oil for you. I mean, that makes it fun. You don't even have to say anything. It's like the best feeling ever. You're like, I'm stoked I get to do this business because everyone's just so stoked on it. So I'm so happy about the Elise Cedeby training. And that's why you can see I got to Blue Diamond without even knowing an amazing sampling program. But how cool is this that we continually learn, right? And then when we find something that works really well for us, let's master it and let's do it, right? And she stuck with it because that was a lot of videos to listen to and to do it. And that's a lot of work to sample people, right? But she stuck with it, and to see how sampling made what her first thing with class was a horror, right? She didn't want to do it and didn't do one for a year. To be honest, that's what happened to me when I was first starting to share, when I wasn't doing it as a business, more like sharing. I, did one class, and of course I didn't sample back then. And I got there and it was a waste of my life. And I was so pissed afterwards that it wasted my life away and irritated that I never taught a class again for another year and a half, right? And then Carly above me actually asked me to get out of my spot because I wasn't doing anything anymore. Now she's glad that I said no and I was going to stay in it. But, you know, I had those same feelings, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to be teaching a class and everyone just drinking the wine and making jokes, not caring about the oils. Like, you're going to teach an oil class, right? And so I think the sampling really is a light bulb moment for me, as well as a lot of you, that, man, if I can give them an oil experience, right? And that's what I think is the same way for me with my roller bottles, is I feel like my roller bottles pre-sell the kit to people when I'm, see, because a lot of my customers I don't meet, right? They're on social media. And so before, you know, I get a lot of referrals where the person's just saying, give me the kit link, I want to sign up. And I've never even met them. And the way it happened is they got sampled by their friend when they used their friend's rollers. So they did get a pre-oil experience. It wasn't me necessarily sampling them, but because I provided cute roller bottles and they were out in the open and they were using them and they were sharing them with friends, then I've been getting referrals easily that way. So it gets to show you it's another option, right? But I mean, I love that you're sticking with the Elise, and I say to do that for every in-person, but to see, oh, by giving my customer that I sampled and got to sign up cute roller bottles, now I'm giving another opportunity for her, in a sense, to sample people that maybe I wouldn't have even ever been able to give the opportunity to sample, right? And she's, in a sense, sampling and sharing for me. Then I'll reward her with a referral gift, right? She'll continue to sample and share for me. And then it's really easy to get someone to come to a class because they want to come learn, right? Or just to DM you and say, where's the kit link? I want to buy it, right? I mean, those are my favorite things. So thank you so much for sharing, Joan. Was there anything else you want to say? I mean, that was awesome. I just want to make sure I didn't cut you off.
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Awesome. That really, those are like some of my favorite things. I'm so happy that so many of you guys are finding breakthroughs, because to be honest, like, I don't have every single answer. And, you know, sometimes as a leader, you can feel like, man, I don't know everything that's the right answer for everything. But the great thing about doTERRA is we've partnered with a great company that has great people in there too. And we all collaborate together. And I love that, right? It's not a competition. We all collaborate together. And that's what's so exciting, because she can help my business people and I can hopefully help her somehow, and to do that. And let's see, Shannon said, the testimonial sell the product for you for sure. She's experienced that as at the CE classes, all of the continuing education classes, right? They show up and then people are sharing what they've been using. And then Shannon just lets them share, gives them a free little sample of Adaptive for sharing, right? And then they just chat and talk. That's like the best thing ever. And that's what I felt like with my bakery business. I never went around selling my cakes to people, right? They saw my cake at a party, they sampled my cake and ate it, right? And then they wanted to order from me. That's a sampling process, right? And then they came to me and said they want to order. That's how I feel most comfortable. And I feel like when we don't give people an experience to sample us, right, or to see us and to try doTERRA and the oils, then it's really hard to sell them on an oil, right? Because what does an oil do? How does it work? I don't get it, right? We're not used to that, especially in Western society. And then Malia said, yes, classes are so different when you sample and do the testimonials. Game changer. You're sweet, Malia. I didn't do any of the Elise, so I think we should be like, Elise is amazing. So, but I'm so happy. I'm so glad that you guys talked. I felt like the last couple times I was talking too much. So I'm really thankful that you guys decided that you would jump on and show up today and share. Does anybody else have any other questions? Let's see. Yeah, totally. Well, thank you, Malia. Yeah, we do. We have great resources in our group. And I feel like the longer we do it, the more we'll hone it and we'll get it to perfection. We're getting all our classes in order. So I really, you know, like Diane said, she spends her time, you know, following up with customers. Follow up with your customers. Let them know every single time a continuing education online class is coming on. Just a reminder, I wanted to let you know, I know you're into women's health and hormones or babies and littles, that the class is on tonight. If for some reason you miss it, let me know. I'll send you the recording, right? You know, it's not a pressure thing. Oh, and we actually have an ebook. I think I forgot to tell you about that. Let me send you that ebook too, right? Let's be all about service, but make sure and post on your Instagram, text your customers. You can even ask your customers, hey, hey, do you want to be on a group text thread for reminders when the online classes come up and the classes that are in person? If so, just let me know and I'll add you to that group. And I just text out a reminder weekly of what the classes are, because I know our schedule is really busy and I forget stuff too, right? That's asking their permission to text them because they want that. So that would be a great thing. And someone would be like, oh yeah, totally, I forget all the time, right? Talk to them about a referral program, right? People will get so stoked about referrals, and give them some, referrals and things like that and some prizes for it. But we have a lot of classes. The Long Beach one, I'm still working on. To be honest, I was getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the new stuff going on, and I really wanted to get it all done. So Costa Mesa is set. It's great. We have our first intro to oil class tomorrow night that Lindsay's teaching. So if you've sampled someone, get them to come to class tomorrow night. And then we have more intro to oil classes as well, and the CE classes. So make sure and check those out and let everyone know. Let's see if anybody else is. And Patty again said the Elise system totally works. So glad I was introduced to it. Super simple and duplicatable. And I think that's really important to be able to tell beginning builders, right? Is I've got something that's super simple and duplicatable. As long as you follow it, you'll be able to do it, right? And you want to give them an experience in a class when they teach one, that the oils are being sold by the own customers around them, right? By the people they sampled. That's going to be the best feeling for them, rather than they stand up in a class, I don't know what to say, no one's paying attention to me, I'm overwhelmed. That's great. So I'm super excited. Cheryl said the accountability and mentor calls have been a huge shift for me. Yeah, me and Cheryl, we're doing accountability and mentor calls together. She's doing them with her downline. I feel like it's great. If you're not doing that with someone, I really, really would say jump on and do it and commit to weekly, 30-minute calls. That's all it is, but it really is a game changer, because we all get in funks. We all need to be helped out of our funks. We all need other creative ideas and things like that. And if you don't have someone to do that with, find someone in our group that you can. Let's see. Oh, good. And Shannon said she loves the oil studio. I'm getting excited about it. We hung some more shelves today and I bought some more cute stuff. So I will keep making it perfect. But I think we got a lot of it done this weekend. I'm glad you liked it, Patty. Oh, good. And Diane's enjoying the mentor calls too. So thanks so much for showing up, you guys. This was awesome. I will post the recording to the group. If you guys have any other questions for me, you know where to get me. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.